Good afternoon. What we have been studying? Corruption. What is quality of service? Benchmarking is quality service. Benchmark to bad services, still quality of service. Benchmark. Benchmark. Something bad services are benchmark. So, will it result in quality of service? Then, what will result? Certain points, characteristics were given of quality of service. What are the characteristics? Uniformity, satisfaction, value for money, grievance redressal, and benchmarking like Sivattam, Charter Mark, United Kingdom, Citizen First, I guess Citizen First, Australia, I guess. Yes, TQM, Japan, quality benchmark. Then public fund. What is public fund? Some that diagram we draw. PFU, income, people's income goes to fund. Fund can be CFI, contingency fund, public accounts, and any other account. Yes, PM cares also, but PM cares public fund still not under RTI. Then it is utilized through budget, through discretionary means. Should be proper utilization. So we also need formal accountability, which is ensured through what? CAG, yes, CAG, etc. And which is alone can be effective. We need social accountability also, but also that should also not be effective. We need self accountability. A person, civil servant with the virtuous character will ensure self accountability. You also know how even CAG is there, social audit is there. There is a cyclical relation. Still, corruption exists because loopholes are there. Loopholes will be explored. We also need, there is local ombudsman in districts, so accountability can be ensured. Do you think this will also end corruption? And local? No, not at all. We need self accountability, responsibility, that is virtuous character in civil servant. That's why Labhasana says Shilam Parnam Bhushanam. Character is the highest form of virtue. And what else we discussed? Yes, corruption, corruptess, destroys. Lot of things were discussed. 3 main reasons by RC2 of corruption. What are those? Yes, dominance of public sector, other also social cultural factors, Sanskritization of corruption, and yes, economic factors. Yes, concentration. Yes, scarce resources in this country. No, what resources we have? Don't have any good resources in plenty. Human resource we have, but we need skillful human resource for that. Anyways, lot of things were discussed. Today, moral philosophers, last topic. Some Indian, some Western. Today we'll try to cover Indian. Let's see how many we are able to cover. So, see, moral philosophers questions also sometimes come directly, sometimes in quotes, and sometimes you have to refer. Very useful to refer in the case studies also and in the theory section also. Yesterday we did. There should be scope for reference, then it will enrich your answer. That way it can be helpful. See, code-based questions comes. You should first, introduction should be what you understand by that quote. Then break the quote. And then show application to civil services or application in general to societal context. That way you have to write. It doesn't mean that you have to write. Quote comes. Anger robs learned person from his wisdom. M.K. Gandhi. You don't have to write on M.K. Gandhi only. That is a quote. Break that quote. Then connect with emotional intelligence, etc. Then show how it robs. Then also show the person who control anger. It can benefit. It can ensure compassion, etc. That way you have to write code-based questions, not that just keep writing on MK Gandhi. That way, okay. Question specifically asks, discuss MK Gandhi's contribution in the field of ethics, then specifically you have to write. And also show application also to civil services, to society in general. Yes. Doesn't matter. Generally they give, but you don't have to write on philosopher that time. You have to write about the quote. So moral philosophers, some Indian philosopher will discuss. Moral philosophers. Kautilya, MK Gandhi, Buddha. Swami Vivekananda. MK Gandhi. Moral philosophers. Kautilya. See, broader we cover all these philosophers, but we also know it's very difficult to cover each and every philosopher. What UPSC does, whichever philosopher is in news or completed 150 years, they will ask. Last year they asked about Guru Nanak. Guru Nanak, I guess 150 years completed, and Prime Minister also spoke something on Guru Nanak on that day. So UPSC asked that. So see, many things can come also. UPSC once asked Savitribai Phule. Now people know at least Mahatma Phule. They don't know Savitribai Phule. generally what are the contributions? Some optional people might be knowing. See, it's not possible to cover everything. Whatever, I'll try my best, but you should keep an eye on what? Yes, newspaper. Whichever something happens, they will ask. Savitribai Phule also. That year something was in news. They asked. Okay. Western philosophers will deal in the tomorrow's session. Let's see how many we are able to cover. We'll cover M.K. Gandhi tomorrow because it will take a lot of time. Rest we'll try to cover as many as possible today also. Vinoba Bhave, M.S. Swaminathan, Amartya Sen, Rabindranath Tagore, B.R. Ambedkar, M.K. Gandhi, Swami Vivekanand, Buddha, Kautilya. Western philosophers also, we have majorly covered many. Hobbes, etc. has been taught in detail. Okay, we'll try to cover rest which are not covered. So, let's start with Kautilya. Kautilya or Chanakya, same name, same person. Okay, don't get confused if question comes on Chanakya and you say it would be, Kautilya. So, Kautilya also briefly we have discussed, I guess. Kautilya was Prime Minister of Chandragupta Maurya. He wrote the Arthashastra, the theory of statecraft. He also views human nature. So, how he views the human nature? We have discussed a bit on Kautilya also, positive, negative, neutral. Yes, he says human being is a negative being, a negative nature. So, human being should be controlled. That human being has horse temperament. Horse temperament. Okay. One he talks about it and ethics in administration. That two things he talks. He says human nature is a negative person. Negative. Who else said negative? Hobbes. What? How is human nature? Short, brutish, and selfish. He similarly says human nature is negative. He suffers from horse temperament. Horse. Horse temperament. Anyone knows horse temperament? Okay, horse. They rank horse temperament 1 to 10. 1 is very friendly person. Same next day he'll be very hostile. So human being is sometimes very friendly also, and sometimes very hostile, stranger. So suffers from horse temperament. Human being is selfish, so he needs to be controlled. And how control will happen? State through conduct rules, through values. Human being should be controlled through discipline. He should be controlled. There should be enforcement of discipline and enforcement of conduct rules. So this is clear. Human nature is according to him is very negative, and he needs to be controlled. He has a horse temperament. Sometimes he is very friendly, sometimes hostile. You also analyze yourself. One day you may become friendly, but something triggers you, you become hostile, you become angry. Absence of emotional intelligence. We know emotional intelligence importance. So, hostile horse temperament. This needs to be controlled. And who will control? State. Human being should be controlled. All this, conduct rules and etc. State should control this horse temperament. Similarly, he talks about his application in administration. He gives a detail. He talks in detail about administration. That is very important. Ethics in administration, he talks about. Yes, once or twice question has also come in UPSC on Kautilya. Now, human beings are this negative horse temperament. So, administration also, these people can come. Administration, we know, from society only, horse temperament. So, there should be enforcement in administration also. he says the quality of people will determine the quality of administration. This also question can come. Quality of people can determines the quality of administration, and you should able to write quality of people and quality of administration. Now, what angles will open here, and what angles will open here? Answer writing was done yesterday, I guess. No, but more specific, that will be a goal of social justice. Quality of administration होगा तो ये goal of social justice will be achieved. You want to try or you want to do homework? So self-discipline, etc. will come from where? Okay. Moral conscience will come from where? Values will come from where? Yes, socialization. Socialization is key. If there is right, so that or everything was taught how socialization will determine quality of people, and this quality of people will determine quality of administration. Now, what is quality of administration? Yes, good governance, ethical governance, quality of service, civil services values. This is quality of administration. So this way you have to open up. Okay, everything you know, bus interlinking and critical thinking. So he further talks about, he gives a holistic picture of what is, how should administration should be structured, how there can be ensured ethics in administration. So he talks about recruitment. You know recruitment, how administrators or civil servants are recruited. He talks about there should be a test. Dharmapaya, pada, bhayopada, kamopada. That test should be there for administration. Dharmapada, kamapada, and arthapada. So, while to ensure ethics in admin, first there should be tested. Dharmapada will test knowledge of the Vedas, etc. So, knowledge about your syllabus, GS 1, 2, 3, testing. Then, Kamopada will test your desires, whether you have desires to corrupt practices. And no, this one called Bhayopada. It will test desires, and Bhayopada will test your bravery, courage. This test is there. So he says this is a test of fire. Once test of fire is passed by the civil servant, then he will enter the civil services. And here, do you need training? Yes or no? He says no training is required. Already people have gone through the test of fire. Dharmapada, it's about all Vedas. The desires, your corrupt practices has been, and your bravery, courage, no training is required. Already test of fire is there. So already civil servants, because of this, will be ethical and moral. No need for training. So UPSC should also adopt. Wasting 1.5 years of people in training. So much now, digital training, everything is happening. Why you want to go there, spend time? Useless exercise. Further, see, this will test the merit and technical competence. Merit-based recruitment and technical competence. See, merit, here merit, no favoritism, nepotism in recruitment. So this will ensure ethics in administration. Already these values are tested in that test have been conducted. So no need for special training. Now he says how to ensure morality and ethics. How to ensure अब आ गए तुम लोग सर्विसेज में. How Kautilya thought कि अभी आके ये corruption नहीं करे. हाँ, transfer is okay, but how when your pay is less, then only you will get into corrupt practices. That's where Kautilya says very high pay should be given to civil servants. Otherwise, they will indulge in corrupt practices. So, pay will range from, see, Pana was the currency of this Mauryan Empire. He says 10 Pana to 48,000 Pana. This was the salary range of the civil servants during Chandragupta. And top level officers salary was 10,000 Pana starting, and highest salary went to 48,000 Panas. Okay. So a lot of research study was there done to evaluate how many 1 Pana costs today in India. So guess how much 1 Pana is equal to how many rupees today? Pana currency tha, that is. Yes, I guess silver, gold, everything. I don't know exactly what, but currency, it was the currency. Now they are talking about the intrinsic value of trade. So trade, you know how currency is determined, import, export. That time sone ki chidiya. So today 1 Pana, give any one number. Huh? 50 rupees. 5 zeros. 1 Pana 1 lakh. तो कितनी salary हो जाएगी इनकी? This you consider chief secretary. Top level this consider IS, district collector. This is cabinet secretary, chief secretary. IS इसके ऊपर तो कोई civil service position है नहीं. Cabinet secretary. He said they should be paid very heavily. So 1 Pana is 175 rupees. So you multiply this, how much salary it will happen of civil servants. And this will come around 84 lakh, I guess. 8 lakhs, something 84 lakhs per month salary. Use calculator, check. Around that much salary should be given. So this will ensure that civil servants don't indulge in corrupt practices. Already you have heavy pay. 5th pay commission, you know pay commission? What is pay commission? Yes, pays of this held a view. Civil servants are already corrupt. No need for an increase. So it refused an increase. Then 6th pay commission came. 6th pay commission quoted quarterly and the increased salary. Then came 7th pay commission. 7th pay also increased salary. See, wrong view, very wrong view. It once in 10 years pay commission comes. That too you don't increase salary, then inflation has increased. Meeting basic needs also become difficult. Then this will the people with high integrity will leave the organization, or people will indulge in corruption. So 7th pay, now I guess 8th pay will come. See, in government sector you get a raise after 10 years. In private sector, your performance raise. So that's why if you want to earn money, you should go to, and if you want to come to civil service, you should have service motive. Then this will have. You see, no money here. How much salary the chief secretary has? 2 lakhs, I guess. The topmost 2.5. So chief secretary retirement pe bante. Yes, plus allowances. Take 1 lakh more. If yes. Otherwise, you will suffer from crisis of conscience. You want money also, you are here and you are non-corrupt also. पूरे जिंदगी दिमाग खराब होता रहेगा. If you want service motive, come. Satisfaction it will give. So this is about the pay he talks about. He also says, he further says, civil servants, we know human nature is negative. So civil servants can also be corrupt. It's very difficult to catch corruption. He identifies 40 types of corruption in that time. See, corruption, very old phenomena we discuss, present since ancient times. What is going on? So 40 types of corruption. He says, further says, it's very difficult to detect also corruption. Detecting corruption is like to see whether the fish who is swimming in the pond or lake is drinking water or no. Can you judge fish in water whether he is drinking or swimming? So it's very difficult to catch corruption also. That's why people with that recruitment, those test of fire and having high virtues should come to civil services. Also, it is difficult to tell whether civil servants, whether it's difficult to expect also whether civil servant will be not corrupt. It's your expectation is like you're putting honey on your tongue and not tasting it. Is it possible? So you can't even expect the civil servants will be non-corrupt. So this way he talks about, that's why there is need for good, virtuous people in civil services. There should be enforcement of code of conduct and code of ethics. He doesn't talk about ethics, but ethics new term, code of conduct, discipline in civil services. And further he says, we should promote whistleblowers also. So whistleblowers, you can connect with external checks that time. So whistleblowers, if whistleblowers promote something, it results in opening of a scam or illicit property, that whistleblower should be given a share. He says 1/6 of the money recovered should be given to that person. There is in US, there is an act also where if you expose something, you will get USA 1/10 of the whatever has been exposed. India, there is provision in the Whistleblower Act to even punish a whistleblower if it results in opening of very confidential information or fake information. Now government can say you open a scam, this was confidential, you should be punished. And also it is mandatory to give your name also. Go and read that Whistleblower Act. Modi ji had brought it. Very dangerous. There should be hidden identity, should be hidden of a whistleblower. The government should know. Also, we also know, even if scam is exposed, the conduct rules where joint secretary and above, what needs? Yes, they need permission from the government itself. Now whistleblower, here, your secretary level, scam is happened, whistleblower opens it. Now what will happen? Nothing will happen. And there is no provision for share also. This was there. So no provision for share. He also talks about a responsible government. Yogaksima uses this term. The government exists for Yogaksima, that is welfare of the people. Government exists for welfare, though it was a monarchy, but he formulates a compassionate monarchy that exists for the welfare of the people. Very famously says, in the happiness, yes, in the happiness of the subject lies the happiness of the king. Happiness of the subject. Happiness of the king, not happiness of the subject. Happiness of the king. The happiness of the subject. If subjects are happy, then king is happy. He further talks about the responsible government. There are council of ministers, Amtya. These are council of ministers who constantly remind the king of his duties. A responsible government, good governance, happiness, values have come here. Happiness, that time happiness. When our constitution doesn't use this word happiness. So value, you can connect with good governance also, and ethical governance. How will you connect with ethical governance? Yes, Aristotle, happiness. Here you can connect Aristotle. Happiness, ethics in governance, happiness. This also he talks about. There should be a rule of law. That time also rule of law. How rule of law? There should not be Matsayana. You know Matsayana? Huh? Yes. There should not be Matsa. Yana. That is no fish rule. You understand fish rule? You eat fish every day. Yes. No, Matsyana means big fish should not eat smaller fish. Means rich people, powerful people should not exploit poor people. In India, highly applicable. 2-3 rich people they have created and eating benefits of that. Very applicable. In India also, no fish rule. Poor should be treated empowered. So, what can come here? Yes, differential principle. That is, the rich has a responsibility towards the poor. Poor should be treated, given priority, differential treatment. There should not be a fish rule. Mandal Saptanga theory karna hai. It's just basically a hierarchy it gives. 7-layer hierarchy. Saptanga theory that the state should be arranged in such a way. The king should be at the top. King. Here Amtya. Danda, Posha. Janpada, yes, Janpada. Posha. Danda. Mitra. Will come Durga here. Durga here. He gives the state should be arranged this way. King should be at the top. Amtya means council of ministers. Janpada means your territory. Territory should be resourceful, should be give resources, that and it should be protected. So Durga, there should be fortified capital. Durga, you should fortify. Posha means revenue. Revenue, whatever should be acquired through legitimate means. That is Kosha. If Kosha, he gave very emphasis to Kosha. Without Kosha, administration will fall down. It will become corrupt because we are paying very high salaries. Then there should be Danda. Danda means army. Mitra is your friends. This Saptanga theory he talks about the 7 limbs of the state. Further, he talks about the Mandala theory. Mandala theory. What is Mandala theory? Yes, it is about international. Yes, it is about international relations. Okay, yes, that is one aspect. It is about IR. We also have ethics in IR. So he also uses this power dominance should be the main aim of the state dealing with other countries. Which philosophy is this? Yes, moral realism. It talks about moral realism. There should be dominance. Dominance. This only power. Power should be the main factor for promoting ethics in IR, according to him. And he also gave that famous what? Enemy is your neighbor. Neighbor is your enemy. And neighbor is your enemies. Neighbor's is a friend. Neighbor is your enemy, and enemy's enemy is your friend. Enemy is your friend. Neighbor is your enemy, and his enemy, his or her enemy is our friend. So India's neighbor, China, Pakistan, both enemy, and their neighbors, Russia, Afghanistan, are your friends. Even today, but you should not totally agree also. May not be true. And yes, European Union, friendly countries. Even if US, Canada, friendly countries. Even if Taliban is in Afghanistan, is not a neighbor of US, everything, but largely they are enemies. Russia don't share border like Alaska. Alaska is given to US. So don't share border. Before Alaska was with Russia. So this is what it is also. He says for any relation in IR, this should be based on this principle: Sama, Dana, Danda, and Bheda. Sama, Dana, Danda, Bheda. What is Sama? Sama, he talks about there should be persuasion, etc. Dana, you give charity with, yes, just we give loans, soft loans, etc. Danda means, yes, punishment, and Bheda means conspiracy, etc. Diplomacy, you can interpret in terms of diplomacy. So, see, largely he talks about ethics in IR in terms of moral religion, power dominance, etc. This is Kautilya based on dominance. See, now today also you can application of this. He talks about ethics in IR, so recruitment you can connect with today's administration. There should be quality people based on ethics, etc. Corruption also. Corruption is very difficult to deal. So if people are quality people in administration will ensure there is ethics in government, ethics in public administration. Social justice will be ensured, and people will generate what welfare, etc. Happiness. They'll work for happiness. So that is what is Kautilya. It is not much to tell. Not difficult to innovate. Also, what to innovate here. These are his views. Do study. It will help in connecting, help in enriching your answers. Philosophers, main aim I feel philosophers in the syllabus to quote them in your answers. Quote in intro, quote in conclusion. The corruption comes. Do quote Kautilya. It's difficult to find corruption because it's like fish swimming in the water. We don't know whether it is drinking or swimming, or it's putting honey on the tongue and not tasting it. State level also there should be efficiency, etc. Happiness, you connect, easy to connect, not much problem here. So things are clear. Kautilya. Should we revise again? Kautilya, negative nature of human being. Human being is horse temperament. His word, short, selfish, brutish. You have to use in Hobbes. Here, horse temperament. Horse temperament means Sometimes is very friendly, sometimes becomes very hostile, very angry. India-Pakistan relations sometimes friendly. They'll go for eat biryani in wedding, Nawaz Sharif. They'll play cricket. Now see, after Balakot, etc., very hostile. So it's a very harsh temperament person. So that's why we need conduct rules, etc. in ethics in administration. And he talks about recruitment people should pass that test of fire. If no required for training, already people have been selected through all this training. So training, and also then once they come, they should be given high salaries ranging from 110 panas to 48,000 panas, and one pana is today 175. So chief secretary salary, you imagine, and district collectors 10,000 panas into 175. That much would be the salary. So this salary will ensure that horse temperament and that corruption and tongue and honey incidents won't happen. So that is merit and technical competence should be there. And further he talks about that a welfare state, yoga schema, that happiness of the king. No, happiness of king. I think we also made a mistake here. Happiness of king. Happiness of subject. Not happiness of the subject, the happiness of the king. That what is done, that is dictatorship. The happiness of the king lies in the happiness of the subject. And what else we discussed? Yes, that Saptanga theory, rule of law, there should be Matsayana. There should not be Matsayana. Big fish should not eat small fish. There should be rule of law, especially welfare of the people. He also says when there is a disaster, the king should act like a father. He should open the umbrella and save everyone from the disaster. So disaster management also, you can, the role of the state to save the people. Then he gave the Saptanga theory. I guess it won't be helpful in ethics. That he talks about 7. King at the top, Amtya, then Amtya, Kosha, Danda, etc., Mitra. That triangle, that is the 7 limbs of the state. Then further he talks about Mandala theory. Mandala theory is about more of moral realism. That is, power should be the sole criteria for having relations with the yes, and neighbor is neighbor, and neighbor is your enemy, enemy's enemy is your friend. Further, what he talks about, yes, that it should be based on Sama, Dana, Danda, Beda. There are 2 types of your neighbor, your countries. One is Mitra, that is friend, and other is Udasin. Udasin means enemy. Yes, application, you can apply all this in the individual life, administration. See, application do applies corrupt practices in administration and that high pay. Even it is quoted by government. 6th Central Pay Commission quoted this, Kautalya. Even I guess ARC2 also talks about how pay should be there proper to ensure decent standard of living. And yes, administration, lot of ability for government also, happiness, welfare should be the prime. But he also talks about black magic, etc., irrationality. One time he talks and how the king should get rid of incompetent sons. He should kill them. Also, the father says, if king is incompetent, people should conspire and kill the king. So that all irrationality also he talks about. But we also don't know whether Kautilya really existed or not. That is also debatable in history circles, whether Kautilya was really there. Controversial topic that some writers write. We don't know. Some historians say there is no Kautilya. No one existed like Kautilya. It was just creation by some sect. Aristotle way. because Socrates was first, then Plato, then Aristotle. Many also interpret virtue ethics as Plato, that is 4, courage, temperament, justice. I guess lexicon also interprets, but it's more of Aristotle. Try to interpret in terms of Aristotle, not Plato. Yes, Plato is also right, but I think more it's Aristotle's views. So now write down quarterly. Here you also can connect horse temperament with emotional intelligence also. Why there should be a emotional intelligence administration? Because human being by its very nature, according to Kautilya, is a negative person and suffers from horse temperament. Lots of up and downs. Have temperance problem. Now write Kautilya. Kautilya wrote Arthashastra. Theory of statecraft and administration. Kautilya wrote Arthashastra. Arthashastra spelling you know, right? Artha. Or it's also Shastra. Shastra or Shastra, right? Anyway. Kautilya wrote Arthashastra, the theory of statecraft and administration. Kautilya's contribution ethics. Kautilya's contribution in the field of ethics can be understood in 2 dimensions. First, explaining human nature. Second, ethics in administration. First is explaining human nature. Second is ethics in administration. His ethical premise for human nature is Kautilya's ethical premise for human nature is that human has a negative nature. Which is temporary. Temporary, like sometimes becomes positive, negative, temporary behavior. Suffers from ups and downs. Suffers from ups and downs. Has a horse temperament. Horse temperament. Horse. You understand horse? Ghoda. Horse temperament. Therefore, unless human is controlled, he may not behave ethically. Unless human is controlled, he may not behave ethically. If you miss something, ask me. Okay, I'll repeat again. This philosophy is also applied in administration. first, right? Human should be given good salary and incentives. Human should be given good salary and incentives which will reduce greediness to some extent. Second, humans in administration should be controlled through discipline, conduct rules, through discipline, conduct rules, etc. Don't write code of ethics because we hardly find code of ethics in Arthashastra. It is more of a modern term. Conduct rules and discipline use it. Maybe technically wrong, but you can use it. But why to get into technical aspects? It may backfire there. They will say, exam will say, "Abhi ho gaya tha code of ethics." Then he'll check. Then he will find, no, he wasted my time. I need to check also. So 1 mark less. Next, there should be, third point, there should be good financial administration. Digest Kautilya has given the write in a subheading type. Okay, Kautilya has given the following characteristics of administration. We are discussing Kautilya. Now we are writing. Okay, so you watch video for the initial part because it's difficult to repeat again. Okay. What you have written, Kautilya? Right first. He emphasizes on the enhancement. He emphasizes on the enhancement for the quality of administration. Quality of people in administration, right? Quality of people in administration. As he quotes, as he outlines, as he says, use any word you want. As he says, the quality of people will determine the quality of administration. Quality of administration. Next, right? Recruitment. See, this code can come as a question. So I have also told you how to open up the dimensions, codes and everything. The trick lies in understanding the code first and writing in crux what the code means, and then opening up that code and then relating with present Indian administration, present society. Depends on the code. Like in case studies, how we decided, how the case studies we practiced yesterday. Introduction should be what? Crux. So that delicious cola, so big. If you write the crux, the examiner will say he has understood the entire case study. It gives a positive attitude, positive connotation. So that may it happens if this entire story is understood, the examiner will know that answer will be written well. यहाँ पे that structure etc. you adopt may be difficult. See, I don't know, but my experience is this structure is all useless. Structure should be according to your question in case studies. But if you want to try those, try those structures which have been provided. Recruitment. He talks about having a test of fire to recruit people in administration. He gives the following test. Right, first Dharmopada. Dharmapada. That is, if you want to write test of Vedas, test of knowledge of Vedas, test of knowledge of Vedas. Amapada. Vedas, etc. Religion. Kamapada. That is testing desires, corruption, etc. Next, Bhayopada. Last is Bhayopada. Bhayopada, that is testing bravery, courage. Vedas or religion, etc. Before, religion was only knowledge. That time there is no need for training. There is no need for training as to be administrators. There is no need for training as to be administrators. As to be administrators have already been tested for their competence. For their competence through a test of fire. Have already been tested repeat the back sentence so I'll able to recall. There is no need for training as to be administrators have already been tested for their competence through a test of fire. So this ensures there is merit and competence in civil services. It ensures there is merit and technical competence. This ensures there is merit and technical competence in civil services. So next, right, pay and remuneration. Give subheading pay and remuneration. Pay and remuneration. He says that Administrators, he says administrators should be given handsome pay. Should be given handsome pay. This will act as a deterrence. Should be given hefty pay, should be paid well, should be given handsome pay. This will act as a deterrence against corrupt. कुछ मिस हो गया? So ask me if you miss, I'll repeat again. Okay? Okay, I'll go slow. Some new people are there, not able to write fast, not able to catch up. What you have written? And corruption, okay. Against corruption, corrupt practices. He provided a salary range. Salary range from 10 panas. Salary range yes, for administrators. Salary range, pay scale, okay, from 10 panas to 48,000 panas. Pana is a currency which was used during the Mughal time, not Mughal modern time. Mughal administration is also there. 10 to 10, 48,000, and the top bureaucrats had a salary range starting from top bureaucrats had a salary range starting from top bureaucrats had a salary range starting from 10,000 panas to 48,000 panas. So your top bureaucrats with DM, maybe that time DM had 10,000 pana salary, and this cabinet secretary or chief secretary. And today one pana is equal to 175 rupees. Very hefty salary. So should in India also this should be implemented. Will this act as a deterrence against? How? Anyway, but tell in today's context. Yes, because but we are testing you on ethics also. GS4 paper you will be writing in mains. Will be enough to imbibe civil services values. Why? Why it won't act as to? It won't satisfy the greedier. Yes, desires. You know, IS Maharashtra case. Also, how society is, that will also depend. Whether society in India is very soft against corruption, very acceptable for corruption. There is Sanskritization of corruption. People who are rich through corrupt means are respected in a society, and who are corrupt are, who are non-corrupt, they are punished. Yes, ARC2 talks about corrupt people get good posting, plum posting, and here also it depends on how the government is. Jatha Raja Tatha Praja. The government on one hand says festival of integrity. Which is the festival of integrity? Demonetization. Naitikta ka Mahotsav. And on one hand it happens electoral bonds scam. Then Jatha Raja Tatha Praja also, people get the government they deserve. This is course. So not on this alone won't this. So You have to have ethical governance. We know the triangle. Ethical governance. Who? People, government, civil society, or even private sector. Corporate governance. That ecosystem should be there. That's why we studied ethics. ARC2 talks about total systematic reforms. Anyways, now gives next subheading morality and ethics. We are talking about Kautilya. Okay. Morality and ethics. He gives very wide emphasis on morality and ethics on M&E. To control the behavior of civil servants. To control the M&E, that is short form of morality and ethics. That I said. Very good. What is M&E? It makes no meaning. So, M&E, morality and ethics. Wide emphasis on morality and ethics in administration to control behavior of civil servants. As in his Artha Shastra, he writes about in his Artha Shastra, he writes about first 40 types of corruption, 40 types of corruption. Next, it is difficult to notice. See, 40 types of corruption, we know broad two types only, coercive and corruption. Coercive, maybe he is talking about that circle we had drawn, remember? Bhul gaye? Corruption, so many corruption we had identified. Tell something. Extortion, yes. Criminalization of politics. देख के बोलने से क्या होगा? That's why. See, revision is very important because we came to know tomorrow yesterday. What happened? Were you able to consolidate your knowledge while writing answers? That's why consolidation will happen only when you have good revision. Everything has been taught, everything is taught. The duty for you is to consolidate. Then your brain will open up, then the interconnections will happen while writing answers. Okay. 40 it is next, it is difficult to notice corruption in public office. It is difficult to notice corruption in public office as it's like as it is like, I wanted to use it as metaphorically, we can say, but it's complex word, don't use. Otherwise, do you understand metaphorically? In metaphorical sense. So like ko hata de, in metaphorical sense, cut the like. It is difficult to notice corruption in public office as in metaphorical sense. he says, it's like, write in quote now. It's like, in metaphorical sense, it says, he says, write one in quotes. It's like fish swimming in water. Swimming in water. It's difficult to notice whether the fish is drinking water or swimming. It's difficult to notice whether the fish is drinking water or swimming. Quote unquote. Next point, right? It is also difficult to expect civil servants to be non-corrupt. Write in quotes. Write in quotes. It's like putting honey on tongue and not tasting it. So that's why he emphasized that there should be ethics and morality in administration. Ethics and morality in administration. He also, next point, he also talks about rewarding whistleblowers. He also talks about rewarding whistleblowers. Rewarding whistleblowers. Whistle, W-H-I-T-S-L-E, blowers. As one sixth of illegal wealth exposed by whistleblower should be given to him. 1/6 of illegal wealth exposed by the whistleblower should be given to him. This is practice in the US. Where 1/10 of the illegal wealth is given to the whistleblower. See, Nitin Gadkari ji also said that if citizens report rash driving, etc., then some part of that penalty should be given to the citizen. So this is that only. So if in any GS papers this comes, then you can relate with this. Okay. He was talking a lot of things before the elections, that we will make a law where helmetless riding, if any citizens to make road safe. Safety in India, road safety is very bad. So that, well, they fine 500 rupees fine if this is there. He was saying 100 rupees should be given to that person who has reported this. So employment generation activities, employment scheme, startup, startup idea. Now I guess he's got silent again. Before election, lot of promises. Now nothing. In US, there is this practice. I guess in New York City, many people they are also rewarded for this. People make, yes, good practice. It should be good practice. But the problem with the traffic fines are there. Many of the traffic fines are not yet recovered. Only 10-20%. Now the fines are all online. You take photo and put on the server. But how many people pay? Also, they say there is recovery system also. Police will go to that address, give notice, send to the court, etc. Now, if this person is driving a car in, suppose here, and is from state in Bihar, you say it's a registered car here, takes here. Now, will Bihar police go here in that village? This city's police will find. When police, we know, is a state subject. They don't have jurisdiction in Bihar. How is it going to work? Yes, they have found a way around that also. You know how? See, other provision is that insurance won't be renewed. So insurance, why you need insurance? For repairing car, etc. These people don't repair at authorized showrooms, commercial. They will, small garages, they'll repair. Also, police can catch for insurance, they'll manage. Now you will say accumulate fine, etc. They will use the car till it's all life, and then they'll scrap the car. Fine also gone, car also gone, no need to pay. That is a way, that is what Plato says. Good people don't need law, bad people will find a way around the law. See, way around the law. Very innovative people of India. You want to write mandala theory also, or you will manage? Look over. Now write his next mandala theory. Mandala. That is how state should conduct its affairs with another state. That is how state should conduct its affairs with another state. You can relate to ethics in international relations. Ethics in international relations. He now he talks about power dominance should be the sole factor. Power dominance should be the sole factor, should be the only factor, should be the prominent factor, should be the main factor of establishing relations with another country. That is, he talks about moral realism. Talks about moral realism. There are two types of international: moral realism and moral idealism. Okay. Idealism is based on values, and this moral realism is based on power. Values should be values that is non-aligned policy was value-based, Panchsheel policy, neighborhood first. They are moral idealism, and moral realism you can connect the Russian war on Ukraine for power. That is moral realism. Next point, right? Protect your own territory. In ethics in IR, that protect your own territory at any cost. Protect your own territory at any cost. Foreign relations. Next point, foreign relations should only pursue national interest. Should only pursue national interest. Nationalism. He says, next point, neighbor is your enemy. Neighbor is your enemy. And enemy is enemy. Neighbor is your enemy. And enemy's enemy is your friend. That is, India's neighbor Pakistan is an enemy. And Pakistan's neighbor Afghanistan is your friend. India's neighbor China is an enemy. China's neighbor Russia is your friend. China's neighbor South Korea is a friend. China's neighbor Japan is your friend. China's neighbor Southeast Asian countries are your friends. See, lot of applicability in Indian subcontinent. But India is also friendly with Bhutan also. So is Bhutan India? Then Kautilya will say Bhutan is part of India only. He gives 4 strategies. Four strategies for establishing international relations. It is Sama, Dana, Danda, Bheda. Sama, Dana, Danda, Bheda. Sama means persuasion, etc. Dana means giving gifts. Danda means, what is danda? Punishment. Bheda is through, you can say, diplomacy, chalaki, etc. See, Sama. First, we were talks with Pakistan. Sama. And Dana, we give them gifts. Eid gifts, Diwali gifts, that Attari border people exchange, I guess. Wagah Attari border. Danda, Balakot, airstrikes, Kargil war, Danda. Bheda, Bheda how? Tell now. Diplomacy. That is long term, but the way that Abhinandan, I guess, was rescued, pressure from Saudi Arabia and release him. So Bheda. Grey list, yes, that FATF, that is long term. So try to relate also if question comes that way, Sama, Dana, Danda, Bheda. It will be helpful. Have you written about that welfare nature of the state of Kautilya? Give next setting, responsibility of the state. Responsibility of the state. Under that right now, the state should be dutiful towards its people. Should be dutiful towards its people. He advocates a monarchy. He advocates for a monarchy, but it is a compassionate monarchy. It advocates for a monarchy, but it is an compassionate monarchy. And the main aim of the state is Yogaksema. Yogaksema, that is welfare of the people. That is welfare of the people. He further outlines, yes. So welfare of the Yogaksema, that is welfare of the people. He further outlines in the happiness of whom? Happiness of the subject's life. Happiness of the subject lies in the happiness of the king. Happiness of the king lies in the happiness of its subject. That quote is further extended, but what is good for the king he should not do. He should do what is good for his subjects. Where that is enough, more confusion will happen. The king should not do what is good for him. The king should do what is good for his subjects. You want to write, but if confusion is happening, limit till happiness, that quote. Now next, right? There should not be Matsayana. There should not be Matsayana. There should not be Matsayana. That is fish rule. That is fish rule. Should not be Matsayana. That is fish rule. That's now right. It means big fish should not eat small fish. Big fishes should not eat small fishes. That is, it means that the rich people, the powerful people should not exploit the poor people. Here, right in bracket, you can apply differential principle of Rawls. Differential principle of Rawls. And you can also this connect with social justice also, which is the ultimate aim of the state. So there should be a rule of law. Now, right, next, there is also democratic checks and balances. There is also democratic checks and balances as the Council of Ministers. That is Amtya, that is called as Amtya in here, but Council of Ministers will be sufficient by this for you. Will constantly remind the Council of Ministers will constantly remind the king of his duties. That is, it is a moral pressure, moral check. the king about his duties. Constantly reminds the king about his duties. So it will act as a moral check. Application, write in brief, I guess. Will you manage application? वो भी लिखा दो तो ठीक. सप्तांगा भी चाहिए. Oh God, 7. See, ठीक है if you want to write, but I think it is less relevant for ethics. But write if you want. Saptanga theory. Saptanga theory. He outlines there are 7 limbs of the state. Saptanga theory outlines there are 7 limbs of the state. You understand limb? Limb you understand? Otherwise Google limbs. So make this triangle. So ensure there are 7 cells. Okay. Pyramid type. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. One more triangle we drew, I guess. Maslow, what are these needs? Primary, secondary, tertiary, right? Golden needs. Very good. नीचे से बताओ, ऊपर से. What? Psychological will come down. Physio means physical aspect, so physiological. Then, सिक्योरिटी के बाद सोशल लाइफ होगी. तुम्हारे पास खाने को कुछ नहीं ना पीने के तो क्या सोशल लाइफ रखोगे? बेसिक सिक्योरिटी होगी तो ही सोशल लाइफ बनेगी ना तुम्हारी. Social, then security will come below social. Self-esteem, self-actualization. Highest form of self-development is self-actualization. No need to remember those 3 also. Aesthetic transcendence. I think Maslow. See, normally Maslow shouldn't come in UP in this GS4, but we were also that time thinking Max Weber should not come in ethics. Max Weber came. So this can also come. So ethical egoism, that they can relate. In this triangle, top is king, second is Amtya. This means ministers, okay, or CEO type, chief secretary or cabinet secretary. Yes, prime minister. People say prime minister. This was the king. He was the prime minister. Then Janpada, then Durga, then Osha, Danda, Mitra. Mitra means friend. This much is enough for Saptanga theory. इसको एक एक पकड़ के लिख देना अगर आया तो. King should be happiness in the king. Happiness lies the subject. King should be compassionate. Then Amtya means he will create a moral pressure on the king. Constantly remind the king of his duties. Durga, Janpada. That is Janpada should be. Yes, territory people, that people should be strong, people should be hardworking and they should give taxes. Territory should be resourceful. Then the kosha will be filled. Then comes Danda, Durga, fortified capital. Janpad Durga means fortified capital. You should fortify your capital, good infrastructure. Then Kosha, revenue, that is, you can say consolidated fund of India. Whatever should be acquired through legitimate means. Danda is army to protect your territory. Mitra is your allies. That is, yes, friendly. Mitra, see in ethics in Mitra means allies, friends. Mitra and Udasin is your enemy. Udasin, write that. That I forgot to tell you, I guess, in Mandala theory. Udasin is your enemy. And Mitra is your friend. Right application. Application government should be welfareistic, promote happiness, should be efficient, democratic, welfareist. क्या लिखा first? Welfareistic, promote happiness, should be efficient, ensure rule of law, compassion, should have efficient financial management system. See, whenever suppose in case study also something happens, riots are happening or mob lynching type, it comes that case study is a mob lynching case study. Then you should also quote Kautilya, there should not be Matsayana. It should be rule of law. Okay, that way you have to connect. That skill you have to develop yourself. I cannot help in that skills. Okay, so that is more of application. This thinker's topic is more of application in your case studies, in your theory. It will enrich your answers. Extra one or 2 marks you will get. 1 or 2 marks every year, 19 question, 19 into 2, 38 marks. Very big boost. Yes, you should connect. Encounter will result in. But Matsayana kaise hoga? They are already criminals, na? There will won't. Huh? That is more you should relate there. Justice, theory of justice, John Rawls. Because Matsayana says big fish should not eat small fish. But the fish is poisonous. It doesn't talk about that. That encounter case study, the fish is poisonous. So administrative level that you right now, administrative level recruitment, morality and ethics, you connect I guess yourself only. But administrative level, merit efficiency, this is application we are talking about from government and then administration. So merit efficiency, that you can also recruitment, that all tests you should apply, whatever you have written. Morality and ethics, right? Morality and ethics, whistleblowing, vigilance. Morality and ethics, whistleblowing, vigilance, recruitment, all this what we have discussed, you apply there. Okay, Dharmapada, that's if GS2 also it question comes that training should be reduced, then quote him. The test is a test of fire already. So test is that way, then why do you need training? Training on work. It should be so that you apply here. Yes, high salaries. So it will act as a check on corruption. And all you connect that 40 types of corruption, etc. And also vigilance system, that ethics, etc. Okay, manage yourself now. Otherwise, this session we will only discuss Kautilya. See, thinkers are very large. It will take 1 or 2 weeks then. Go and detail with every thinkers. It's not practical to give so much time. Matlab 2 weeks will too much of ethics, and how will you revise also? Best strategy for thinkers should be basic thinkers. You should know newspapers is the best strategy because we have past experiences. Like whatever, see, this year Guru Nanak came, and we know that year, that just before me, so our prelims, Guru Nanak ji was in news of 150 years. Savitribai Phule once came, it was in news. And Modi 150 years, 500 years. I think some. Let's check. 500 something was there. 1469. So yes. Yes, that much I just, sorry, 450 years. So that was in news. Some big, and Modi ji also made a speech and paid homage to Guru Nanak ji, so it came. And then similarly, Savitribai Phule that year, it was in news. So this year, whatever is news may come. I think nothing is news this way. Maybe I missed something while reading current affairs, but that way, or they will add as traditional, this all, Kautilya, Buddha. So, right, in a nutshell, Kautilya's Artha Shastra. So, in a nutshell, Kautilya's Artha Shastra is today, even today is a, even today is even today is a good source for good governance and ethical governance. Source for good governance and ethical governance. And some good practices are even today found in Indian administration. Buddha now, his philosophy. Now sacrifice, middle part. Nirvana. And truth also, I guess. So Buddha, do you know briefly about him? Ancient history, I guess. So what Lord Buddha says, main philosophy. Yes, he says the main cause of human suffering is desires. When you control your desires, you will achieve happiness. Desires create what? Human. This is human. Then he has some desires. Desires will result in tension. Tension, then anger, etc. Greediness, unhappiness. Now, how to overcome tension? Yes, here control. This won't even happen. every problem in your life is due to desires. Any desires. You analyze your life, what problems you have, that desires, overcome these desires, and happiness will be achieved. Control these desires. Now, how will you control desires? How can you relate this? Yes, emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, lot of things happen because of desires only. Anger, etc. Jealousy. Desires. You desire something, you want something, you are not able to get. Desires. Someone is doing well in his life, in his her life. You are getting jealousy. Why? Desires. Desires happen. Tension. Then frustration. Then everything. That's what Lord Buddha says. Control this. Worldly pleasures are the main source of unhappiness. CMC, Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, I guess. Commodification, materialism, consumerism, main source of desires. This you control materialistic world, happiness will be achieved. Greatness, etc. He says there are 5 senses in human being. Which are the 5 senses? 5 senses. 5 senses. Yes, there are only 5 senses. You can see, you can hear, you can smell, you can taste, and you can feel. If you control these 5 senses, these are only source of desires and anger, etc. Control these 5 senses, then 6th sense. 6th sense, that is, yes, he says nirvana will be achieved. Buddha's philosophy is largely about this, and you can connect all this with temperance. Then emotional intelligence, wisdom, temperance is given by whom? Yes, Aristotle. What are the rest 3? Justice, courage, wisdom and temperance. Wisdom will be last. Wisdom will be achieved last. So he says that 6th sense will be achieved. So Buddha, he relinquished all this worldly life. He was a king and he sacrificed that and went in search of truth. He was roaming all over the country in search of truth. So he himself gave up worldly pleasures. and all wealth. What was Buddha's name? Gautam Buddha. Okay, Gautam Buddha. Yes, Siddhartha. Important for prelims. Now he went for search of truth. So people should also have continuous endeavor to search for truth. Truth is highest form of is the highest value. We know truth is lost. Everything is lost. So apply in civil services also. You should truth about what? Truth about life, truth about individual, and truth about society. That is truth about country. You can further apply that triangle, that concentric circle. Ethics in IR we drew. This is human. Good. Truth. The world also truthful. Then desires won't be there. So there will be no war only. It talks about peace, love, happiness, everything. And we know that incident where he showed emotional intelligence. Which incident? Yes. He was going there, I guess an ignorant person abused him. Then he said, what? I consider your abuses as a gift, which I have not accepted. So what will happen to your abuses? Your gift will remain with you only. Emotional intelligence. Rather than getting angry, you should thank people for making me angry, and I did not get angry. My emotional intelligence increased. That's what Buddha talks about. And what is the essence of Buddha's life is? He says also cultivation of character. Cultivation of character through speaking the truth and sacrifices. Cultivation of character. By speaking truth. Aristotle says cultivation of character by cultivating values, speaking truth. Should we speak truth? The name of the person should be achieving nirvana. Aim of the person should be achieving nirvana. That is overcoming desires. That should be the aim of the person. That he talks about. Essence of Buddha's philosophy is largely applicable to individual. You can relate greediness, etc. There should not be greediness. It will make world more lustful, more jealous. See greediness. You should not have one wedding ceremony. You should have multiple wedding ceremonies. Ambani's saw greediness, CMC, commodification, materialism, and consumer. Yes, I forgot. One thing he also talks about RattaMaar. That is middle path. Yes, golden mean between. Which three values were given? Yes. He also talks about golden mean. That is, you should have courage. You should not have foolhardiness. Neither you should be coward. You should be courage. RattaMaar. But in economy also largely applicable. Greediness, dowry, etc. Civil servants also demanding dowry. CMC, desires. How much desires you will have? It will. Now what he further says that desire will create a anger, jealousy, and you will eventually get frustrated. That is, he talks about overcoming all this. 7 conduct rules I guess he gives. Code of conduct he also gives for life, right, meditation, eightfold path, that is meditation, right exercise, etc., right memory, and many things. So see, this is all about Buddha. What else? This is only main philosophy you remember. Desires, RattaMaar, emotional intelligence, connect this. This is Buddha and apply this in civil service. See, difficult to innovate here. What about can do? I tried a lot to innovate. I thought a lot how to treat differently, but history is a bit boring also. Unlike ethics, where initial lectures were, I innovated a lot. Tried to innovate. So write down Buddha. Yes. More or less RattaMaar, etc. Comparison may also come. Comparison between Buddha and Aristotle. Virtue, ethics, and Buddha. So compare and contrast. What is the difference? Compare and contrast, and question is distinguish. No question. See the command. Compare and contrast. Yes, you have to write similarities also. Compare and contrast. And when it says differences, then only different. But in the end, also write there are overlapping also in any question. Okay. So, differences, Aristotle. See, they are more or less similar only. But you can write he was a philosopher, he was a king, he renounced worldly desires, he practiced also. Here he was giving philosophy only. We don't know whether Aristotle practiced himself all this. So Greek ethics, Indian ethics. Ethics is more related to religion. He also gave religion of Buddhism. Here he didn't give any religion. Greek philosophy. So that can come as differences. Right, Buddha, main cause, main philosophy, and the main philosophy. According to Buddha, the main cause of sufferings is desires. If desires are overcome, nirvana will be attained. You can write that desires results in tension. Desires results in tension. No desires, no tension. Happy life. Desires results in tension. Then write comma, no desires, no tension. Happy life. Now, right next, desires and greediness. Desires and greediness are the main source of suffering of people. As people with desires cannot distinguish between right and wrong. Cannot distinguish between right and wrong. Simply because there is loss of control over the senses. Simply because there is a loss of control over the senses. Next slide, human has 5 senses. Loss of control over senses. Human has 5 senses. 5 senses. And if human is able to control these senses, a sixth sense will open. Sixth sense will open. That is wisdom. That is for wisdom. One needs high emotional intelligence. Understanding of the object. And temperance. Understanding the object and temperance. temperance. Therefore, Buddha's philosophy implicitly talks about emotional intelligence, truth, and having right temperament. Therefore, Buddha's philosophy implicitly talks about emotional intelligence. Implicitly talks about. Explicit nahi ho, you have to infer it. Buddha time, I guess, emotional intelligence also was not developed. We know when in Daniel Goleman, then he talked about emotional intelligence. We are inferring all this. Implicitly talks about emotional intelligence, temperance, etc. Okay. Now write something about Buddha. Buddha himself relinquished, relinquished, relinquished or gave up worldly life. Buddha himself relinquished worldly life in search of truth. Where he attained enlightenment and he attained enlightenment and he attained enlightenment and gave philosophy to the people. Gave philosophy to the people. Right, first, philosophy to the people. People should have continuous endeavor. People should have a continuous endeavor to know the truth. Truth about the world. Next side, truth about the society. Next point, truth about the society. Truth about life. Yep. And truth about human sufferings. Next point, he talks about the philosophy of love, peace. Love, peace, non-violence. Respecting human dignity. He talks about the philosophy of love, peace, non-violence, respecting human dignity. Now our Q subheading, essence of Buddhist philosophy. See, many things are there that you read from art and culture. Rest, all those mudras, etc. Essence of Buddhist philosophy. Now, right, first point, cultivation of good character. Following middle path. Next, his philosophy was not about. His philosophy was not about how state should govern. Was not about how state should govern. His philosophy was not about how state should govern, rather how individuals should govern themselves. Yes, individuals should govern themselves. That is very important, because we know if state cannot govern individuals, because individual follow the way around the law. That's why you can connect with character building also. This total virtues should be built. So that is what is Buddha. He doesn't talk about any state. He talks about good individuals. Everyone achieve nirvana. Why you need state then? Then self-governance will happen. Gandhiji will also come into play. Then we'll have self-governance, oceanic circle, principle of subsidiarity also. Now write application. His philosophy is largely applicable to individuals of society. In present times. Right, first, greediness, money, desires. First point, yes. First point, greediness, money, desires have become driving force of life today. Where money has become a status symbol. Where money has become a status symbol. Which has robbed. Where money has become a status symbol which has robbed truth from human life. Which has robbed truth from human life. Robbed truth from human life. That is right. Truth is lost. If you don't understand, robbed. Now next. Society should propagate the values of humanity, love, peace and sacrifice, instead of pomp and show. Society should propagate Society should propagate the values of humanity, love, peace, sacrifice instead of pomp and show. Pomp and show off. Especially on social media nowadays, social media influencers are the most vulnerable to anger, jealousy, etc. Very hollow life many people live on social media. Reality is different from social media. That's why you can connect also with social media. That's why this is all needed. Social media has become a selfish medium. You know what had happened? Make people making reels. Many people die also while making reels. Recent cases have come where people risk their life for social media fame. This is all pomp and show, all because of CMC, commodification, consumerism, and materialism. Human values get lost, love, etc. Many examples were discussed in all lectures where you can see that when someone is asking for help rather than helping him, people are taking a video to upload on social media to increase social reach. Human values are here. You can also apply Buddha, where he talks about this. Now, right next, extremes should be avoided. Extremes should be avoided. One should follow middle path. One should follow the middle path. Next, character in civil servant. Is considered important for quality of behavior. Character in civil servant is considered important for quality of behavior. Quality of behavior. Buddhist philosophy, Buddha's teaching, character of civil servant is considered important for quality of behavior. Buddha's teaching can help building good character. Now you can write economy. A heading give economy. Economy today is based on crony capitalism. Economy today is based on crony capitalism. Desire to earn more and more. Resulting in materialistic life. Resulting in materialistic life. Money being equated with prestige. Money being equated with prestige. Increasing commodification of women. Here you can relate RG car case also. RG car Kolkata case. See here also you can connect geo also, that geo example. Increasing greediness, increasing desires. Okay, desires increase greediness, resulting in what? equating money with prestige, resulting in many wedding functions. Wedding functions, people all over all the world to show the world that we are powerful and our power is money. What will happen then? Okay, this all happened. But we know you have a responsibility towards a poor. But these people having responsibility. Okay, not that way. But how poor gets affected? Service charges increases of your phone. Then they will take money from every poor. Recharges, I guess recently Jio increases the tariff. See this. Then poor will become more poor. Rich maintain their wealth. This is what is desires. How much money you want? What you going to do with money only? You need love, peace and happiness. Money cannot buy love, peace and happiness. You think money can buy love and peace and happiness? You are not buying love, peace and happiness. You are buying commodity. Commodity is perishable. That will go. Happiness, love is a lasting feeling. That will always remain. You can relate here also. Don't take directly name, implicitly say how recently in India the biggest corporate giant celebrated wedding on the and which resulted in increasing service charges. The service charges will affect the poorest person also. Person who are who work on daily wages. Their life is affected. Even for them 10 rupees a lot. Person earning suppose Narega 100 rupees. Yes, 100 rupees or 3000 rupees. I guess many states have increased also, but 5000 for that person, even 10-20 rupees matters a lot. Truth. He talks about this enlightenment and excess. That is the truth of life. You will come to know. You will come to know what is right or wrong. That is the truth of life. And you will escape death also. So that what is called Mahaparinirvana, I guess. That he did not die, he met with God. The creator, Mahaparinirvana. Nirvana, you know, and like Mahaparinirvana, he met with God. Mahaparinirvana. Important terms, do read in culture. Buddhism and Jainism, important area of UPSC in prelims. Every other year, 2-3 questions will always be there. Unless they will try to kill the pattern gets killed, then different areas they'll focus. I guess this year also some questions were there on Buddhism and Jainism. Yes. Yeah. He talks about enlightenment. That he talks about truth. You are able to achieve wisdom, that is truth about everything you know, and you are able to distinguish right or wrong. That way he interprets truth. So now, okay, Buddha is enough. So let's start with Swami Vivekananda. I guess this also was briefly discussed. Was this discussed briefly? Yes, we were referring. See, basically, he's a rationalist and a humanist. Okay, his philosophy revolves on rationalism and humanism. These are the two aspects of him. What is rationalist? He can. It's a reason, critical thinking, rationality, right? Yes, he was talking rationality, but he was talking rationality in religion. Religion should not be based on superstition, but on rational principles. That what he's talking about. There should be no place for superstitions. Human conduct should also promote rationality. Rationality, I think a lot of things were discussed, critical thinking, etc. Aristotle, Socrates. So that is, he talks about rationality in religion. But in India, there is murders of rationalists. Many rationalists are killed. I guess who? Dhabolkar, I guess. Yes, 2-3 Govind Pansare, etc. were killed. I guess one woman was also killed, journalist, rationalist. Do remember the names, it will be helpful to quote. Rationalist, that is, it talks about rationality in religion. Religion should not be based on superstition. And what he talks about? Humanism. Now, humanism, love for humanity. We should keep human values at the highest pedestal. He also talks about that. Human values, this is human values. Here you will keep, yes, nationalism, here patriotism. All values should be at the top, human values should be top. This was also talked by Gandhiji. Further, he says that human should be given highest priority because he says there is God in every human. God not necessary, is it? Temples. In every human, there is God. You worship human and save the human, help him, you are worshipping God. So, God in every human. God in every human, that is what he talks about. And his famous quote, worship to Shiva is worship to Jiva. Yes, worship to Jiva is worship to Shiva. That is what? What does this mean? Yes, humans should be respected, not just following blindly religion. Worship to Jiva is worship to Shiva, and there is Shiva in every Jiva. Every person there is God. You serve him. He further says that he was against the principle of moksha nirvana. He was against this. Now Buddhism talks about moksha. What Swami Vivekananda says, I will be the last person to achieve moksha. I will ensure the other people achieve moksha first, then I will achieve moksha. He further says when he went to that Chicago conference, what conference was that? Yes, Parliament of Religion. That time he addressed everyone as brothers and sisters, and there was huge applause. First time someone was addressing as brothers and sisters. That is what? That is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. That is keeping human values at top. They were not, see, it was a conference of religion, people of different religion, but he combined everyone. He considered one as family, brothers and sisters. And there was a huge applause also. They were surprised. See, that time those values was not well known all over the world. So, brothers and sisters. In one, this, he combined all the Indian religion philosophy also, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, and putting human values at the top, brothers and sisters. Huge applause. Then also, that is, he kept human values at the top. See, this is very important application, rational, where he mixed religion with human values. So that's why we also discuss how Indian ethics is based on what? Based on Western ethics is based on philosophers. Indian ethics, yeah, Aristotle, Socrates, etc. defined the ethics in Western life. Western countries protest an ethic and spirit of capitalism. Their ethics is based on those philosophers, and Indian ethics is based on religion. Religion dominates the way of life and ethics in India. See, problem of not revising properly, then you forget everything. Yes, and also you should not only work for the poor, you should also work for the poorest of the poor. You should ensure Narayana of him. Narayana is what is God, and God is among the poor. So there should be Daridra Narayan. We should help the poor. Daridra Narayan. Narayana. That is, you see, God. Narayana is God. God in the most poorest. So very applicable for civil services. How? Social justice. Antoyodaya. The last man standing. You should help here. So use these words, Daridra, Narayana, etc. Okay. Narayana is God. Daridrya, he interprets the poorest person. You find God in the Daridrya. You find God in the poorest person and serve him. So Daridrya Narayan. So this is social justice. Helping the poorest of the poor. Antoyodaya, the poorest state, the poorest district, the poorest village, and the poorest person in that village. Ensure his Narayana. Consider him as God and help him. So it will lead to Daridra Narayana. He also was for building good character rather than good state. He said good character will ensure ethics. Law alone won't ensure ethics. Again, those thinkers, Plato, him, I guess also Gandhiji and Buddha also, they were talking about individual self-governance. It was in this context, he said, huh? But not is good, because he said that the strength of any country cannot be gauged with atomic bombs, but the character of the people that will judge the strength of this country. So that's why he's talking about human values at the top. Strength of the country. Strength, character is significant aspect of human values. Character is strong, the country will be strong. We know Bhutan happiness index. That's why it's happiness. Highly happy country. USA not happy. So very atomic bombs, everything powerful, but ranks lower than Bhutan in happiness. Also Scandinavian countries, so many times we have talked about that they are not militarily strong, but high on happiness. Happiness, so character building. Yesterday he also talks about freedom of expression, etc. And yes, he was against conversion. What he said? Hindu, become a good Hindu. Muslim, remain a good Muslim. There will be no need for conversion. That is, people should follow their religion properly. There will be no need for conversions. This is largely about Swami Vivekananda. See, you have to apply this in answers. That is the main motive of this modern thinkers. Directly, very few questions come. What are the teachings of Swami Vivekananda? Hardly, I guess, I have not seen direct questions. Last year there was direct, like Guru Nanak Ji, they were asking teachings and relevance, but it's more application based. Okay. The application camp individual level, it should build character, ensure rationality, respect human values, and administration. Very important application. Use Daridra Narayan, etc. words for social justice. Administration should keep human values. Now you also connect Daridra Narayan with ethical governance also. Social justice, that is also one of the what? One of the value of social justice is mentioned where? Yes, constitution is mentioned, but in context of civil services. Yes? No. Confusion. Social justice value is mentioned where? हाँ वही है कहाँ पे ARC2 code of yes all India service conduct rules. See consolidation not happening. All India service conduct rules 2014 code of ethics, good governance, corporate governance all have different values. Remember them. Good governance etc. Codes were provided short forms. सेकंड ARC का क्या शॉर्ट फॉर्म है कोड ऑफ एथिक्स का? तो क्या है वो 2I कोड? हाँ वैल्यूज क्या है? कम्युनिटी पार्टिसिपेशन, कम्युनिटी गवर्नेंस, efficiency. Wow, very good. Good governance also efficiency. Yes, exemplary behavior, not efficiency. And consensus. Yes, commitment to service. Commitment to service. Objectivity, openness. See, very confusing. That time everyone was able to remember. Now today, and good governance is? Eight values, 8 pillars of good governance. ऑब्जेक्टिविटी है? यहाँ ऑब्जेक्टिविटी कहाँ? Very good. Very good. Yes. Many are there. Corporate governance also is there. And now 4 E's of DOPT are also there. This is efficiency and effectiveness and equity. So there are 2 E's in this. So that total can be 3 E's. But this 2 are 1 pillar only. Efficiency and effectiveness, and other is equity. Equity means social justice. Revise properly. Now time is there. No need to worry. Consolidate. You have. I'll give you strategy for prelims in the last session. Okay. Tomorrow most likely will be the last session of our course. Yes, things will be over. Now write Swami Vivekananda. Yes, he also is being credited for bringing Indian philosophy from rishis and saints to the people. That is Vedanta philosophy, I guess. Yeah, that before this all was only related to the people. Now it is also gone. It was only till rishis and etc. Then it was gone to the people. Vedanta philosophy is also credited to taking Indian philosophy to the West. That's why he talks about there should be what? Good practices from West and good practices from the East. So materialism of the West and capitalism of the West and not socialism, spiritualization of the East. Here you can also write Madhyam Marg also. This is the only Madhyam Marg. This both you take. That question, first question for I guess should be modern in the modern world, the Western countries have developed. Should we adopt this Protestant ethic completely, whereas India is developing? So you can tell, no. In the conclusion, you can write RattaMaar also. You can write this spiritualism of the East and capitalism of the West. This also you can write. See? Now Vivekananda, Swami Vivekananda, capitalism of the East and spiritualism. Is capitalism good philosophy, utility, hardworking, etc. Rationality it brings, and it brings spiritualism. That capitalism, chronic capitalism will go down because people will be spiritual also. There won't be greediness, etc. That's also spiritualism of the East and capitalism of the West. See, he also talks about yoga and meditation, I guess. Then that's why application can be for meditation, for administration also, to overcome greediness, etc. Develop spirituality. Develop in society, one can develop scientific temper. Talks about rationality against superstition. Whenever case study, etc. is there on superstition, etc. Do quote Vivekananda of rationality. Many case studies can be made now. I guess recently only in the Hindu it had come. There's a practice in one of the district in Maharashtra where if woman falls sick, see, it takes time to recover some diseases, I guess 1 month, dengue, etc. Then the people put this way that they spread the news that she's become a witch. That wrong forces, the evil forces has gone into her soul. So if suppose she has dengue, I guess takes 1 month to recover. So even after 2 or 5 days, she doesn't recover, they spread the news that so and so happened, and they will forcefully discharge her, and many kill also. This practice has come to highlight. I guess it was reported in the Hindu few weeks ago. So this about a case study is made on this. We should use all this Vivekananda, rationality, other all aspects when case study you'll write. I was thinking of making this case study. Let's see. Then only Vivekananda you should not write. Other thing also you should write. Yes, this is what is Vivekananda. Now write down. Swami Vivekananda teaches rationalist philosophy. He interprets rationality in terms of rationality in religion. He interprets the need for rationality in religion. He interprets the need for rationality in religion. That is, religion should be based on science. He interprets the need for rationality in religion. Religion should be based on science. Objective approach in religion. And superstition should not have any place. Superstition should not have any place in religion. Next point, right? He also talks about humanity. That is love for human. which should be the basis of human conduct. The conduct can be considered ethical when human the conduct can be considered ethical when human loses himself in the service of others. When human loses himself in the service of others. There are two applications of this philosophy. First, love for humanity. Under that right, people should love other fellow human beings. Other fellow human beings. They should have empathy, compassion, respect for other fellow humans. They should have empathy, compassion, respect for other fellow humans. Second is, religion should be based on rationality. Rituals, superstitions aren't based on rationality, are not based on rationality. Rituals, superstitions are not based on rationality. They should not have place in religion. Have any place in the religion. He says there is Shiva. He says there is Shiva in every jiva. He says there is Shiva in every jiva. And worship to jiva is worship to Shiva. And one can find God in every human. That is, one can find God in every human. Not only in temples. One can find God in every human, not only in temples. Only worshipping temples cannot get God, cannot be God's worship, cannot be God's worship. Only worshipping temples cannot be God's worship. Serving human is real worship to God. Serving human is real worship to God. Now write on next view. See, these are the two broad principles which can derive from his philosophy. Now write some views different. He was also against the concept of salvation. He was also against the concept of salvation. That is moksha nirvana. That is salvation. As he said, I will first ensure he said, I will first ensure others achieve salvation. I will first ensure others achieve salvation. I will be the last person to achieve salvation. I will be the last person to achieve salvation. Now give next subheading, service to human. What Buddha said, you achieve, every individual achieves salvation, and Buddha was the first to achieve salvation. He was so against achieving that first others should achieve, then I will achieve. If anyone wants salvation, he was against salvation. That's his way of criticizing it. I will be the last person to achieve salvation. So if you say, if you are critical of civil services, someone tells you to prepare, you say, I will be the last person to prepare for civil services, first others should prepare. So you will never achieve salvation that way. That is implicit, that is philosophers don't criticize directly. He was a real big philosopher that time. Now next is service to human. One should find Narayana by worshipping poor people, by worshipping the poorest people. One should find Narayana by worshipping the poorest people. That is Daridrya Narayana. Daridrya Narayana. Daridrya. Daridrya means poverty, I guess. Sanskrit word for poverty. Huh? Hindi word. Yes, you should worship them. Narayana. Service was the core to his philosophy. Service is the core to his philosophy. He said, poverty, he said, as long as service is core to his philosophy, he said, as long as poverty is not eradicated from earth, one should not take rest. As long as poverty is not eradicated from earth, one should not take rest. Now give another subheading, human character. He gave emphasis on building good character. He gave emphasis on building good character. And law cannot build good character. Laws law cannot build good character. Rather, people can build good character through ethics. It is in this context he was talking about the strength of a country. It is in this context he was talking about the strength of a country is determined not by atomic weapons. It is in this context he was talking the strength of a country is not determined by atomic weapons, rather not determined by atomic weapons, rather by people with good character. By people with good character. Next, give a subheading: freedom, liberty, and equality. Freedom, liberty, and equality. Next subheading: freedom, liberty, and equality. In his philosophy, FLE can be inferred, that is freedom, liberty, and equality can be inferred. Yes, there is a lot to write today. What to do? Freedom, liberty, and equality can be inferred as first. See, new people may find it difficult to understand because this lecture is a summation of all the previous lectures, and we are at the end of this session. Okay, and topic is also as such that let's think as not much to tell. So rather, I recommend watch previous lectures also. Yes, because your first time here, accent differs from region to region. I'm not from this region. The accent will be different. So first, people should be allowed to speak their mind. There should be freedom of expression. There should be freedom of expression. There should be a quest of knowledge. There should be quest of knowledge. Next, he was not against any religion. As humanity is common to all religion. He was not against any religion, as humanity is common to all religion. In the Chicago Conference, he uttered, brothers and sisters, and got a big applause. Here connect with Vasudev Kutumbakam, etc. Okay, and human values, and got a big applause. Here try to connect with Vasudev Kutumbakam, etc. while reading. Brothers and sisters, human values. Next, he was against conversions. As he said, a Hindu should be a good Hindu. He was against conversion, as he said, a Hindu should be a good Hindu. A Muslim should be a good Muslim. There won't be any need of conversion. So mob lynching, etc. any case study, use this. Or any communal divide, case study, etc. comes, use this. So for application, will you manage yourself? लिखना है वो भी. Tell, लिखना है तो ठीक है. You don't get tired writing. Very good motivation. हाँ? ऐसा इसीलिए. Let's good. Horses have been identified for the race. Will run for the examination like yesterday. Yesterday was a test. Those who didn't came, what to say. Such a big opportunity you get to writing answers, or maybe some circumstances, maybe ill, etc. That is understandable. But on purpose not coming means we have separated the boys from the men and girls from the women. Boys, so men and women can only lead this race or win this race. Boys will remain boys and girls will remain girls. But personality can change. It can change in 6 months also. Yes, socialization. Everything can happen. Good environment. They get more motivated. Even if we write wrong answers, we will still try until we succeed. So write application, individual first. Individual build character, respect human values, build character, build character, respecting human values, respecting humans, should propagate human values, should propagate human values, Now write society. Society should ensure rationality in religion. Should ensure rationality in religion. Overcoming superstition. As the absence of rationality and superstition is a result of as absence of rationality and superstition as absence of rationality and superstition is the main reason for tension, as absence of rationality and presence of superstition is the main reason for tension, conflict in the society. Is the main reason for tension and conflict in the society, as we have seen mob lynching, communal clashes, etc. As we have seen, mob lynching is the main reason for tension and conflict in the society, as we have seen mob lynching, communal clashes in the present times. Administration. Now next slide, administration. Main aim is to service the people. Main aim should be service the people. Main aim should be to service the people, to ensure Daridrya Narayana. To ensure Daridrya Narayana, that is social justice. Also, administration should be compassionate and give preference to human values. Also, administration should be compassionate and give preference to human values. Now write in conclusion type, he is credited. Swami Vivekananda is credited for bringing Indian philosophy credited for bringing Indian philosophy from saints and rishis, saints and rishis, saints and rishis, saints, you understand, saints and rishis to the common people. That is the Vedanta philosophy. He also took the Indian philosophy to the West. He also took the Indian philosophy to the West. He also took the Indian philosophy to the West. Now write that sentence. Yes, capitalism of the West. There should be capitalism from the West and spiritualism from the East. See, some more thinkers will discuss. Not much to write. Little things I'll tell. So this is all about Vivekananda. Now Vinoba Bhave. Gramdan Bhudan movement. It has that movement has come in the mails also. Do read. I guess Bhudan and Gramdan. Vinoba Bhave. पता है? Yes, Bhudan and Gramdan. That is art of giving. It talks about art of giving. You give your land. People who have concentration of land, they give to the poor. That is art of giving. I'll make you write. Don't worry. Focus here. Yes, classes are very hectic here. Okay. Bhudan and Gramdan movement. That is art of giving. That is people who are having concentration of resources should land, they should give to the poor. And it has been very successful. Where? In India. No, it is in US and Malaysia, highly successful. Landholders, big land holdings have been given to the people. Art of giving. You can also see differential principle. The rich has a moral responsibility towards the poor. Yes, that is Bhudan, art of giving, but was it successful in India? Land reforms were largely a failure in India. Okay, yes, people also, he had a target, so some acres of land, he used to go everywhere, donate villages, donate toward the people, and yes, people donated, but most of the land was barren. Most of the land was under litigation. That land was. See, Indians always finding a way around the law. Not successful. Also, we know how land reforms were all bypassed. This family had suppose 500 acres of land. Now under land ceiling, they have to give land. What this family did, transfer on the brothers, sisters, everything. To escape land ceiling. So basically this application can also see, we can see positive way that NGOs etc. working for the poor, they are giving, that the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation etc. having wealth, they are distributing wealth. So this is largely Vinoba Bhave. Now Dr. Ambedkar, what you will write about him? Yes, social justice to the poor, it was talk about constitution, democracy, liberty, equality. Yes, liberty, equality, fraternity, entire constitution is his only. So one important quote, constitution has ensured one vote for one person. No, constitution has also one vote for one person. One vote, one person. इसमें कोई doubt नहीं होना चाहिए. Every person, one vote, one person. One person, one vote. This should be. One person have one vote, but there should also be one person, one person, yes, one person, one law also should be there. Law should not change person to person. So it will result in one person, one value. This is more of his application. He was against suppression of the poor, especially we all know Mahat Satyagraha, etc. You take from your history lessons. Okay, so it fought for the dignity and the dignity of the poor, everything. Rest you take content from your history. Okay, and otherwise this will also become a history class. And then Amartya Sen, I guess we have talked about Amartya Sen, use capability approach, development as freedom. That is his approach. M.S. Swaminathan, yes, Green Revolution, transform agriculture, service to the people. He had very brightest mind, would have settled abroad, but came here. Varghese Kurian, Milk Revolution, expertise, leadership, entrepreneurship. That time His small Anand, he was doing all this event. Lal Bahadur Shastri visited him and the startup expanded. He went to US, studied that white revolution model and came and implemented here. So spirit of service to the nation, serving the people, serving humanity. I guess Rabindranath Tagore, humanity, philosophy of humanity, everything is secondary to human values. Narrow nationalism, he says, narrow nationalism results in conflict and tension. So see, human values were Rabindranath Tagore, Mahatma Gandhi, then Buddha, Swami Vivekananda, all talk about human values at the top, and people of this country, human values at the bottom. What an irony! When these great philosophers before all this West philosopher came, they were all talked about this, and today we see what Kali Yuga. Yes, absence of rationalism, etc. Write down this brief thing, because Mahatma Gandhi will discuss tomorrow, because it will take a lot of time. Lot of things needs to be done, very important. Mahatma Gandhi, we know, father of the nation, and civil service is also very important. He talked about everything. Right, B.R. Ambedkar, little things only to write, not much. See, there are many thinkers, Rajaram, Mohan Rai, etc. I say you take from history. History will be anyway studying. Okay. That also you want. वो social religious reforms उसमें that dignity. Oh. Yeah. Okay, I'll try. Because it will take one more week then total. ठीक है, I need to first to make notes. I'll type. ठीक है, देखते हैं कल. Because tomorrow we need to discuss some Western thinkers also. Mahatma Gandhi will discuss, James Madison, etc. Dalai Lama we discussed. Secular ethics. You watched the lecture? Okay, good. Secular ethics, Dalai Lama. Okay, I'll try to provide notes. Okay, I have to think also, make notes. Right, B.R. Ambedkar. We'll write later. We'll write. No, don't worry. B.R. Ambedkar. There are also Tillawalla Noor, I guess, South Indian thinker. Oh no, not possible. Sorry. I need to go home. I have some work. Tomorrow, most likely, it will be last session. So, do come, Western thinkers will talk. Okay, right, B.R. Ambedkar. Strong resolve. Huh? Feminist ethics. Savitribai Phule, Sarojini Naidu. ठीक है, okay, I'll try. Because yes, we are thinking of taking case studies sessions also, 50-60 case studies. I'll come again, let's see, that time we'll do. They're also telling me to take GS2 some parts, GS3 some parts. Let's see. So optional also they are telling to take. Optional, let's see, first we'll release on YouTube only videos. There is a different culture here, but not so different ecosystem is there. Because what I've inferred, many classes are not teaching properly, or many are not giving the content requisite for this examination. What I've heard and what I've heard, because some big classes have taught ethics in a very superficial way, right? In 10-15 days they have finished up. That is the issue. I guess the strategy here is Just teach little bit prelims. Then most won't clear prelims. Most will go out, don't come back. Forget yourself. Very bad, very unethical things to do. You should do whatever has been committed. And this is only one part. Important is answer writing. Without answer writing, what do you do? Actually, yesterday we did session. How many of you are able to write? Simple question of probity also. Probity is essential for effective governance and socio-economic development. What simpler can it get from this? Last year paper, I guess 2023 means I have extracted that code. On purpose, I have extracted that. See whether you are writing simple questions. Go to 2020 means, 21 means, 22 means. See how difficult questions are there. So that's why it's don't get demoralized. Things take time. First, you should be consolidating your content, whatever you have written, that you should consolidate first. So you should know whatever has been written, you should be able to remember. That the main aim is that you should be able to interlink. Interlinking happens, then answers will open up all the dimensions. See that probity, effective governance, and socio-economic development. Effective governance, then if you are concerned, then you will be able to write good governance, ethical governance, etc. Social development, then you will be able to connect social justice, Daridya, Naran, etc. Economic development, you have to connect with what? Corporate governance. Then you have to, then this all consolidation, then only you have to. Not a very probity, effective governance, social and economic. These are the 3-4 keywords are there in that question. And examples, so many examples have been provided. Okay, right now, B.R. Ambedkar. I am saving the strategy for tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll give effective strategy for prelims also. I guess prelims also many are not able to clear. Give a strategy. You need to just clear prelim once, means once, interview once. It can be a first attempt, it can be a last attempt also. Doesn't matter, clearing matters. Strong resolve for social cause and justice. B.R. Ambedkar's strong resolve for social cause and justice, especially vulnerable section of the society. Strong resolve for social cause and justice, especially for vulnerable section of the society. Strong resolve for social cause and justice, especially for vulnerable section of the society. Next, Constitution has provision for social economic justice. Constitution has provision for social economic justice / democracy. That is social economic democracy is also as democracy. That is DPSPs. DPSPs intend to ensure social economic justice. Next, he advocated there should not be just one man, one vote. One man, one vote. There should also be one man, one law, and one man, one value. There should also be one man, one law, and one man, one value. That is, equality, liberty should be enjoyed by every person. Equality, liberty, fraternity should be enjoyed by every person. That is, liberty, equality, and fraternity should be enjoyed by every person. Next, he was against any suppression and oppression of people. He was against any suppression and oppression operation, not that operation, oppression. Oppression. He preached human dignity against suppression, oppression of people. He preached human dignity which is reflective in the Indian Constitution, which is reflective in the Indian Constitution. Which is reflective in the Indian Constitution. For him also, human values are superior than any values. Now right next, Rabindranath Tagore. Known for his philosophy of humanity, Everything is secondary to humanity. Including nationalism. Everything is secondary to humanity, including nationalism. He says, narrow nationalism. He says narrow nationalism results in conflict and tension in the society. Rather, people should preach the philosophy of love, respect and dignity. People should preach the philosophy of love, respect and dignity. Next, write Vinoba Bhave. He is known for the art of giving. Is known for the art of giving. That is human service. He is popular for the Buddhan movement. Popular for the Buddhan movement. That is those who have land. That is those who have adequate land. Is those who have adequate land should give it to the landless people. Should give it to the landless people. Land reforms can be brought which can promote equity and equality. Which can promote equity and equality. Which has been very successful in the US and Malaysia. Though it was not much successful in India. Though it was not much successful in India. But this philosophy is even relevant today. Is even relevant today. Help in bridging the gap between rich and poor. Help in bridging the gap between rich and poor. Many corporates follow this philosophy. Many corporates follow this philosophy. You can add Azim Premji, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Tata's, etc. Azim Premji, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the Tatas, Azim Premji, Bill and Gates Foundation, the Tatas. Alright, MS Swaminathan. Few lines only, not much. Considered as a father of Indian agriculture sector. Father of Indian agriculture sector. Father of Indian agriculture sector. Transformed the Indian agriculture. Transformed the Indian agriculture through scientific temper. Remained committed to the cause of farmers. So values you can connect here. Patriotism. The values you can write patriotism, courage. Patriotism, courage. Determination. Patriotism, courage, determination, change oriented. transformative, and selfless. Selfless, transformative, and selfless. Now write next Verghese Kurian. Verghese Kurian, V. Kurian, the father of White Revolution. V. Kurian. Write V. Kurian only. Many are not able to write Verghese. Verghese Kurian. Okay. Add values only. Entrepreneurial. Talk about entrepreneurial government. So entrepreneurial. Visionary, patriotic, transformative. Visionary, patriotic, transformative, change oriented, exemplary, building assets for the society. Building assets for the society. Building assets to the society. He went to US, right? He went to US. He went to US and to learn and came back. Came back to serve the country. That is shows spirits of service. It shows spirit of service to the nation. Spirit of service to the nation. Okay then, this session comes to an end. So tomorrow you want to practice GS2 answers also. GS2, General Studies 2. करना है practice. Only 2 questions. Okay. Management is getting angry. I'm giving questions for other subjects also. Okay, some few more thinkers we'll discuss tomorrow. So we'll discuss Gandhi, discuss Western thinkers, and some strategy I'll tell of GS2 also. We'll write some GS2 questions and some prelim strategy I'll discuss. Yes, tomorrow we'll wind up the course, and then everything lies on you. Whether how you consolidate, how you write. I've tried to do all my part as possibly as good as possible. You can't become very good, but at least you can approach near perfection. Okay, then we'll see you tomorrow, same time.